from college and is an instant change. She's handed pretty much being the face of the league. Whether obviously we know she deserves it, but in their eyes, whether they think she deserves it or not, like she's being handed as the face of the league.
Watching Caitlin Clark feels like watching Larry.
When Michael Jordan compares you to Larry Bird, you're clearly doing something special, and Caitlin Clark is proving why. Her sharp court vision, fearless playmaking, and ability to thrive under pressure make the comparison hard to deny. But Caitlin isn't just playing great basketball. She's helping transform the WNBA. She's bringing in new fans, packing arenas, and becoming the face of the league's next chapter. Her highlights are everywhere, and the attention around her keeps growing. Of course, all that spotlight brings criticism, doubts, noise, and plenty of opinions, but none of it has slowed her down. Caitlin keeps showing up, performing, and reminding everyone that there's never been anyone quite like her in this league. This video takes a closer look how players, legends, analysts, and fans are reacting, both the cheers and the pushback, because no matter the take, one thing's clear: the entire basketball world is watching, and in Indiana, leadership means more than stats. It's about being present and lifting your team and your city. Tyrese Haliburton knows that firsthand, and he sees those same leadership qualities in Caitlin. As a fellow point guard, he understands the pressure she's under and respects how she continues to lead and compete at such a high level. So when asked about her, his response was simple: full support.
She's just so amazing what she does. I love being here to support her in any way I can, and I think we're just, two point guards trying to lead our group to do something special. So any way I can be here to support, I'll be.
It's just a floor generals recognizing the grind in each other. Caitlin Clark isn't just trying to find her place in the WNBA, she's already leading the way. She's calling the shots, taking the hits, and doing everything she can to lift the fever, just like Haliburton has done for the Pacers. What makes it powerful is that Tyrese sees it. When one of the NBA's smartest young stars stands with you, not above you, that's real respect. Indiana doesn't just have one leader, it has to. Sometimes the most important stat isn't on the scoreboard, it's who's standing beside you. And then there's Jason Whitlock. Say what you want about him, he's bold, loud, and not afraid to ruffle feathers, but this time, he's speaking to something real, the behind-the-scenes truth in the WNBA that most players won't say out loud.
Super team around Caitlin Clark, because people want to play with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
The Chicago Sky, they look perhaps worse than they were a year ago because people don't want to play.
Caitlin Clark isn't just bringing in fans, she's drawing in talent. That kind of pull is rare. The Fever didn't need a big market city or a long playoff history to attract players. All they needed was Caitlin, because when athletes pick a team in free agency, it's not just about the money, it's about the environment, the culture, the chemistry, and most of all, the trust that the person next to you knows how to win, how to lead, and how to raise the bar. Caitlin checks every box. Take a step back. And Jason Whitlock's comments aren't really about Caitlin versus Angel, they're about the bigger picture. The league is changing. Teams aren't just chasing star power anymore. They're building around personality, and Caitlin's personality, it's the model for today's franchise player: grounded, driven, and magnetic. If you're running a front office and looking to rebuild, ask yourself, who would you rather build around? The player getting booed on the road, or the one turning every game into a sellout? Whitlock's point cuts through the media noise. People don't just want to watch the WNBA, they want to watch Caitlin Clark. Players don't just want to watch Caitlin Clark, they want to play with her. And in a league that's still growing and fighting for attention, that kind of pull is more valuable than any stat line. When stars start recruiting themselves to join you, that's when you know something special is happening. In sports, there are two types of fame. There's basketball fame built through MVPs, playoff heroics, and highlight reel moments. Then there's cultural fame, the kind that goes beyond the game and reaches people who don't even follow basketball. That's when a player becomes a household name, not just on ESPN, but in classrooms, offices, group chats, and yes, even grandma's Facebook feed. Right now, Caitlin Clark is living in that second category. She's not just playing ball, she's showing up on cereal boxes, trending during NFL games, and dominating coverage from outlets that usually overlook the WNBA unless it's the finals. She's not part of a dynasty. She's not playing in New York or LA. She's in Indiana on a rookie contract, and somehow She might be the most talked about basketball player in the country. That's why Colin Cowherd, known for making bold statements with purpose, didn't hold back when he weighed in.
How many NBA players are more famous than Caitlin Clark? LeBron, Steph, absolutely.
Maybe Durant.
That's what I put. I wrote down KD maybe.
Yeah.
In 1 year, out of women's basketball, for a horrible team when she arrived, outside of LeBron and Steph, she is the most well-known basketball player currently playing in the United States.
Think about what Colin Cowherd is really saying. In a league full of superstars, massive marketing budgets, and global names, Caitlin Clark ranks in the top 3 for name recognition. That sounds wild, but it's true. This isn't about who's winning more games. It's about who's shifting the culture. And Clark is doing that faster than anyone we've seen in years. Honestly, we haven't witnessed a rise like this in decades. What stood out about Cowherd's take wasn't surprise, it was how casually he said it. Like it was obvious, because to anyone paying attention, it is obvious. Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball. She's changing the entire landscape, and the craziest part, she's just getting started. So if you're still asking who's next, not just in the WNBA, but across all of basketball, it's not a question anymore. It's Caitlin. And sometimes, the biggest moments in sports don't come from buzzer beaters or trophies. They come from tension from the players with different paths, different styles, and different fan bases clashing in a way that grabs the world's attention. That's exactly what happened with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, and as Jonathan Isaac put it, that tension isn't a problem, it's the spark.
The rivalry because of Angel Reese, because of Caitlin Clark, has sparked an interest in women's basketball that wasn't completely there before. So I'm happy for that. And so I want to see it play out. I want to see them, continue to grow their careers and be the best female basketball players that they can.
In the surface, it might sound like Jonathan Isaac is giving equal credit to both sides, but let's be honest. If Angel Reese entered the WNBA without Caitlin Clark, it wouldn't be a headline. Angel's profile blew up standing next to Caitlin. The trash talk, the gestures, the fouls, they only mattered because Clark was on the other side. Without Caitlin, Angel's just another rookie trying to make noise. With Caitlin, she became a viral moment, and that moment gave her career momentum. But here's the difference. Caitlin Clark never needed her. Caitlin came into the league with record-breaking numbers, a legendary college career, and a massive fan base already behind her. She didn't ride anyone's wave, she was the wave. She didn't just bring attention to the WNBA, she forced the league into prime time. And she did it before the rivalry even existed. So yes, Jonathan's right, the spotlight is huge right now, but let's not get it twisted. The media isn't covering Angel Reese and then checking in on Caitlin Clark. It's the other way around. Angel gets attention because Caitlin's name is on the marquee. This isn't a two-woman act. It's a one-woman era, and her name is Caitlin Clark. When people say the rivalry is good for the league, that's true. It adds fuel. But the fire was already burning. The moment Caitlin Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, every league has a turning point. For the NBA, it was Magic and Bird. For women's tennis, it was Serena. For the UFC, it was Conor McGregor. And for the WNBA, that moment is happening right now. Rachel Demita didn't hesitate to say the reason why.
2024 was a year of unprecedented growth in viewership in the WNBA, a substantial amount of which can be attributed to Caitlin Clark, who took the basketball world by storm after an all-time college.
Barely cracked 6 figures, started pulling in millions. Social media exploded with Caitlin Clark content, highlights, interviews, debates, an entire ecosystem built around her, and none of it was luck. This wasn't about timing. It was about her. Caitlin Clark didn't wait for the WNBA to catch up to her fame. She brought the spotlight with her on day one. The second she put on that Fever jersey, the entire league felt different. Because sometimes in sports, talent meets the moment, and when it does, the impact is undeniable. Caitlin Clark didn't just join the WNBA, she changed it. She came in as the most talked about women's basketball player in years. Fresh off a legendary college run, and somehow, she's still surpassing the hype. Not just with her skills, but with her presence, with her ability to carry the weight of a league on her shoulders without flinching. Rachel Demita saw it clearly. She didn't just see a great player, she saw the moment, a player who moved the needle, a player who made you watch, whether you loved her or wanted to see her lose. And for a league that's waited years for this kind of breakout, Caitlin Clark didn't just arrive, she detonated. But not everyone's celebrating. Every sold out arena, every viral highlight, every face of the league headline has brought pushback. And some of it sounds a lot like what Megan Rapinoe said. She didn't go on the attack, but if you read between the lines, the message came through, loud and clear.
I want to become the girl, the team, the coach, the player who cries wolf all the time. It's just like, I feel like sometimes it's just like constant. And like, to what end? And I think especially around the Fever team and especially around Caitlin, this has like been a thing. It was a thing last year. Like sometimes you just have to like play through it and like earn a little bit more.
Wasn't a shot at Caitlin Clark's jump shot. It was about how she's handling the noise. And maybe that's fair. Megan Rapinoe's been in the spotlight too. She's taken her share of heat, stood at the center of controversy, and kept going. So maybe this was her way of saying, you're not the only one, everyone takes hits. Deal with it. But under that message, there's a bit of tension. Because while Caitlin Clark has been targeted on the court, online, and in the media, she's done something rare. She hasn't just endured it, she's thrived through it. She's taken hard fouls without asking for sympathy. She's answered every tough question without flinching.